Hey, here we are on Halloween, October 31st, 2019, and we have a 1998 GMC Sierra here in the shop. Customer uses this as a snow plow. And I wanted to take the opportunity here to talk about access holes, because a lot of customers aren't really educated on access holes and what we mean by them, so I do my best to have a few minute conversation with every customer that comes through here. So I had a conversation with this customer about, RustCheck Corporate recommends that I put access holes in very specific spots. At the same time, it's your vehicle. If you are adamantly opposed to it, then I'll write that down on the bill and document that you would prefer to not have access holes drilled. And then I explain on top of all that where I would put them. In this case, the customer said, I don't want you to drill any extra access holes. I don't know if they have any or not. Sure enough, these were 1/4-inch access holes that I widened up to full-on 1/2-inch holes so that any RustCheck would be able to spray this vehicle again, not just me. But all these holes were exactly here in this spot. This one, I'm not really sure. Somebody went a little crazy there and put one here and then right there. Not me. I just widened them all out to fit my 1/2-inch caps right there. And usually there would be a one up here, but they didn't do that. So I'll go in through the wiring grommet. Not a big deal. So same thing on the other side if you use your imagination. And then on the tailgate, there were these that I widened out. There's this one. I gotta go get a drill and take that out. And then there's access to the box through here behind the lights. So you always have to take the tail lights out. The only reason I'm showing you half of the truck is because it's the exact same scenario on the other side. So let's grab a drill real quick and I'll show you what I was doing. I was just widening out the holes with a step-up drill bit. But all those access holes were already there because the vehicle had been sprayed somewhere else. And while I'm doing this, I'll explain to you why there are access holes. That's it. So now I have a place to put my tools. So I'm a manager, a shop manager, certified technician of a RustCheck. RustCheck Corporate has a very specific product and a very specific application method. You see I have some steel tubing here. These are actually patented tools from Corporate. So this isn't something that I made. So the wands are different feet. This one's a 4-foot wand. Different measurements, and the screw here indicates which way I'm spraying. So if I turn it this way, I'm spraying up against the lip on the inside. So these are the tools that Corporate gives me, and this was their grand idea years ago, to keep it simple across the board from one side of the country to the other, that if they see the access holes, they know that the technician has sprayed the product adequately on the door panel, for instance, and then I have an 8-foot wand for the box, which is right here. But all it is a delivery method for the product. This is a 45-degree, what we call a J-rod. I have a 90 as well that shoots the product straight backwards. So that's why. RustCheck Corporate assumes that if they see the access holes, then it's very likely that the product was sprayed on the inside of the door panel. Why would you go to the lengths of drilling access holes and not actually using them? So ease of access, guaranteed the product's in there and in there adequately, appropriately, all over the inside of the door panel. And for the same reason, this is why we put access holes here. Well, how else am I going to get the product up in this pillar towards the top? Short of taking the light out and whatnot, or, just make a 1/2-inch hole and then put a cap on it that has been soaking in RustCheck. So all my caps over here have been soaking in RustCheck. So I'm not, although you could say, well, you're creating a rust point, Adam, I'm also, I mean, on these on these older vehicles, I think you have bigger fish to fry. You have bigger worries than making a 1/2-inch access hole. I mean, if you look at the whole vehicle, it's been rust proofed a few times. He's not a regular customer of mine, but he's missed many years. But the truck, the 1998, is still intact, still on the road driving. And here he is again. So don't fear the access holes. They're there for a reason. Consistency of product from one side of the country to the other. Consistency of application. Assurance to corporate and assurance to the customer that it was applied evenly and correctly. That being said, if you don't want access holes, like a lot of my customers back in the 90s didn't want any access holes and were upset about it, you ask your technician to get creative and look for things like this. I could take that off and have the exact same amount of access as I would if I just use those. Or underneath, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find access on the other side of this. Like, that's pretty wide open. You'll see caps. So if you're opposed to getting access holes made in your vehicle or drilled in your vehicle, or you don't want a teenager drilling holes in your vehicles, depending on where you wind up, then you should tell the technician, tell the guy. I always say, first of all, ask for the certificate. Ask if the guy is certified to do what he's doing. Some people look for experience. You know, I'm a 38-year-old man now. I started in this industry when I was 16. So not only do I have the years, but I have the certificates that anybody can look at. And you can just look me up online. You might be on YouTube watching this right now. So it's kind of undeniable. The years of experience, which is why I get the whole shop to myself. I don't need 20 people here helping me to do a rust check. I can do it all on my own. Have a great day, everybody.